Morning. Isn't it awful when you're the only person that is here on the live when it opens and you think, oh God, no, I'm going to quickly go again. So I don't mind, honestly, if you're arriving. Oh, morning, Lynn. How are you? Oh my goodness. Do you know, I have to. Morning, Jen. Morning, Mimi. Bonjour. Morning, Lois. Morning, Stonehill. Morning, Ness. Lois, that is so lovely to see you. Oh, welcome. It's really lovely to see you. Happy Friday. Morning, Elaine. Oh, lovely. Good. I'm glad you're all right, Lynn. I hope you're okay. That's good. All enjoying our bank holiday weekend. All is good. Aha, Mrs. N, nice to see you. Emily, morning, you made it. Congratulations on your job. Emily went for an interview and got her job, so congratulations. Helen, it's lovely to see you. It's such a lovely morning. I've been in the garden. I've had my breakfast this morning in the garden, so it's been so nice. Oh gosh, apologies for my glasses. I realise that you can't see my eyes when I wear my glasses, but I can't see the comments if I don't wear my glasses. So I'm in a dilemma. And I've tried to make the text bigger, but it's no good. So I'm going to try and have a bit of both. So I hope you're all right. Where are you joining me from today? Are you working today, or are you off today? Where are you? Let me know. I know Mimi's from Brittany. That's where my sister lives, in Brittany, which is northern France. So that's lovely. I'm Sarah. If you don't know me, I'm Sarah Aris. I'm a therapist. I'm a Quest cognitive hypnotherapist. And Mrs. Anne, you're in Scotland, southwest Scotland, lovely. And I work mostly with people who are suffering from anxiety. And I use cognitive hypnotherapy, Quest cognitive hypnotherapy. It's not like traditional hypnotherapy. It's very conversational, very practical, and it helps a lot of people. Sophie, evening from Australia. Helen, you're from Bedford. You're just up the road from me then. Off work today, putting up some bunting for the Jubilee. Lovely. Speedy, you're John from Leighton Buzzard. Hello, nice to have you here. Welcome. Kezia, how lovely to see you. Nice to see you here. Welcome. Gosh, it's nice, isn't it? I'm so grateful that you pop along to my lives, and I realise, if you come every time, I was thinking the other day, I hope they're not too sort of similar, because that's the thing about talking about anxiety, that the symptoms for people are very, everyone's different, everyone has a different experience, and yet my answers might feel a bit the same. So I hope that that's not too boring for you. Oh gosh. But hello, Alicia, lovely to see you here. Eleanor, nice to have you. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. It's so lovely to have you here. I have moderators with me here today. Lynn 250 is here, and Lynn has been with me. Lynn was one of the first people that offered to moderate for me, and I'm so grateful, Lynn. I have the lovely Lynn, I have Vicky, I have Jasmine, and I have Zanshin, or Barry. And I'm so grateful, because sometimes when, I don't know, the algorithm has changed, so it's sometimes you get really busy with loads and loads of comments flashing through, and I don't see them all. I just can't see them. And then other days, like Monday, I did a live, and it was so lovely. It was like having a little private room, and so I could see all the comments, and there were no trolls at all. So it was really lovely. But the moderators are here to be a friendly face, to chat away as part of the community, but also to keep this a safe space, because the last thing we want is anyone who's not as friendly as the rest of us. So I can't thank my moderators enough, so thank you, Lynn. If I've not seen Vicky or Jasmine or Zanshin yet, but if you look out for them, because they're great people. So let's have a look. Oh gosh, oh Liz, thank you. So Liz, you shared my live. That was very kind of you. welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's have a look. So if you've got any questions... Oh, Nadine, you're so nice. Thank you. Hello, Liz. Elizabeth. If you've got any questions about anything, just fire away, because this is just a really friendly space and we can talk about anything. You know, you can ask me anything about, you know, how I became a therapist, the sort of training that I've done, what I do. You can ask me, well, anything, any questions about anxiety, about mental well-being, just... Oh, Liz, how lovely sitting in the sun. I was doing that. I had my breakfast outside this morning with my hubby and it was so lovely. And I'm going to be, after this, I'll be back outside again. So, so if you do have any questions about anything. So, oh, Helen. Okay, good. Thank you, Helen. You started. I was worried. I was thinking, oh no one's going to ask me any questions. So Helen says, how long have I been a therapist? And I've been a therapist for 6 years. So I retrained. I got into my 40s and I finished my degree, because I'd been at uni when I was sort of 19, 20. And I dropped out of uni because I just hated it and I was miserable. So, and then I thought, I'm going to redo my degree. So I went back to uni and finished my degree when in my 40s. And then I thought, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been doing my job as a teaching assistant because my kids were little and I couldn't go back to my old career. I thought, oh, well, what can I do? And then I had hypnotherapy. I had a fear of something, and I went and had some therapy, and I couldn't believe the difference it made in my life. It was just unbelievable. And so I thought, oh my goodness, I'd love to be able to do this for other people. And I looked into it and I was a bit worried, because I was thinking, oh, like when I was a kid, I always thought, oh, I want to be a psychiatrist. And then I realised you have to train to be a doctor first to do that. And I thought, well, I'm rubbish at science, so I'm never going to be able to do that. And then I realised that you could actually train to be a therapist without having, you know, that many qualifications. So obviously that's a bit dangerous because anyone can train. But it also means that it's open to people from all sorts of backgrounds. And so I chose the best course for me, which is just under a year of training, and then I did another year on top of that, and that was, I've actually been qualified for 6 years. So, and I love it. It's the best thing I ever did. I really, really enjoy. I really, really enjoy the work that I do. So. But at the moment, I've just trained to be a clinical supervisor, which means that I can help other therapists, because that's what, when we're therapists, we have to have supervision, which means that you have to go along every month or so and chat to someone about, you know, what's going on, how's everything going, do you have any issues with anything, is anything tricky? So anyway. Let's have a look. Any more messages? Okay. Let's have a look. I'd love to help people like you, but I can barely help myself. Do you know what, Nadine? And Helena also says it's something I've always wanted to do. Do you know, it may well be that at the moment life is really difficult, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever. I mean, when I look back at my life and think about the things that I went through, you know, when my children were little, I had postnatal depression, and you know, life was not easy, not good at all. And I really, if you'd have said to me then that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, I would have just thought that was ridiculous. It was an impossible thing. But it's incredible what happens in life. You know, I look back now and I think actually being through those difficult times helped me so much, because it made me more empathetic. It made me understand the difficulties of finding help. And it made me realise that I wanted to do something to help people, so that it wasn't as impossible to find help for for yourself. You know, it's like my son, who's off travelling now. When he was about 12, he had horrendous anxiety. It was so awful. And then, you know, we were on a waiting list for CAMHS, and it was so difficult. It was impossible to get help, and it made me really angry. I thought, this is awful. And when we did get help, the person was useless. I mean, I don't like to say that about someone, but, you know, one session, the person spent 20 minutes trying to work out how to put up a video camera to video the session. And at one point, I had to say, do you think maybe you could work out how to set the camera up in between sessions and video the next session, because we've only got 50 minutes and we've spent 20 minutes of it so far with you working out how to set up a video camera, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm actually now as well, I'm the training manager at the place where I train, so at the Quest Institute. So we train one cohort of students every year, and it's amazing because the people that come along to the course are, you know, it's a course that embraces people who actually have lots of skills from their life. And I think that's probably what I loved about it. And we totally support people, and it's available to people all over the world. You know, this year we had people joining us from Germany, from Australia. We had people joining us from Thailand, from Dubai, from all over. So it's partly online, but it's also, you know, you meet up and you have practical work. So I mean, I'm biased, but I think it's a brilliant course. So there's always that chance, Helen and Nadine, that maybe when you're ready, you could train to do this sort of thing. So, yeah, if you ever need any information about that, I'm very happy to help. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So it's interesting. So, and Emily said you had the same CAMHS experience. You know, there are some great people that work for CAMHS, and the people at CAMHS are really under huge pressure at the moment, or everyone in the NHS, you're under huge pressure at the moment. And so I'm very fortunate to be in private practice. So I'm in charge of when I work, who I work with, what I do, how I run my business. But at the NHS, you know, you're seeing like so many clients a day, one in, one out. You haven't got time in between clients. It's very, very difficult, you know. So anyway. Oh, Nadine, I've been in a bad place for 15 years and you're 30 now. So I'm so sorry to hear that. It's so difficult, isn't it? When you're struggling with your mental well-being, with your mental health, it's incredibly difficult. And it's amazing how quickly it can turn around if you just find the right team behind you, if you get the right support and you're in the right environment. And sometimes that's very hard to do. So, you know, keep going, my lovely, because it can absolutely change. I mean, for me, I went through really difficult times when I was in my early 30s. And I look back now, you know, which is 20 odd years ago, and I can't believe that I was that person. So for you, there's absolutely, there's hope that you can really be in a different place. You know, you might well be surprised by what can be achieved. So I'm thinking of you. Keep going. I'm so glad that you're here. You know, that's the thing, isn't it? It's so lovely that you're here, and hopefully, you know, I can see that Lynn's been chatting to you, and hopefully you can find this place as a nice, safe community to be with everyone. Let's have a look. Oh, Ness, your daily posts are amazing. I really appreciate them through my struggles. Joe, thank you so much. It means so much to me. You know, the kindness of the people that are on here, the kindness of you to say that, to be here, to give up your time. It means more to me than you'll ever know. It really does. So thank you ever so much. And I'm glad that the stuff can help you. Yeah. So I'm just having a look through these comments. So Alicia says, I'm doing a counselling psychology degree, but I don't know what I want to do after. it's hard to get into a counselling career. Yeah, I mean, counselling just takes so long. And I mean, the good thing about counselling is that you can be employed by the NHS afterwards, and it's, you know, it's a really solid, sound training. For me, you know, training when I was 50, I kind of didn't want to spend that amount of time. I didn't want to spend 10 years, 5 years training. I wanted to do a good, thorough training, but I wanted to get out there and be helping people. And that's why I did the Quest Institute training. And actually, you know, I did my clinical supervision training the other day, and I was on that course with people who were psychologists, psychotherapists, and I kind of felt like I held my own. You know, I felt that although my training is different and that I work with different types of people, I felt that is solid, and that was good enough for me. So good luck. I hope, I mean, it's amazing that you're doing a degree in psychology and that maybe you're doing your counselling training. There's so many options of things that you can do. So, you know, well done. It's amazing that you're doing that. Shrinking Violet, hello. Nice to see you. Really, you're really welcome here. Let's have a look. I'm trying to see, because I can see there's conversations here. Oh, Bashal. Hello, Bashal. Hello, sir. It's 3 a.m. in Canada, but I stayed up to thank you. Oh my goodness, you started going for walks again. Oh my goodness, I'm so touched. You know, I scrolled up through the comments, so otherwise I'd have missed your comment. So that was meant to be, wasn't it? Oh, I cannot tell you how lovely that is. That you stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning to be here, but well done for going walking again. That's so amazing. It's hard starting, isn't it? It's really difficult to begin, and some days when the weather's not so great or you just feel a bit, it's hard to go out. But once you get out, it's just such an amazing feeling. It really is. And you're combining that connection with exercise to connecting with nature. You're getting endorphins, all of those beautiful things. Ah, welcome and well done. You've made my day. You really have. Oh gosh, that's so lovely. Let me have a look. Oh gosh. So Josie in Bristol says, I couldn't imagine you doing anything else. What was your job before? Okay, so before, I dropped out of uni and I did a bit of, I don't know, bar work, working in restaurants, thinking, what can I do? And then I worked for my dad. My dad was a GP, a doctor, and so I worked as a receptionist for him. And one of the receptionists in his work, in his surgery, said that her daughter was working in a casino. So I thought, a casino, that would be very glamorous. So I sent off my CV to lots of different casinos, and I got an interview for a group that they owned the Ritz. So I went for my interview at the Ritz in London, and I got the job. I didn't realise. I was like, I didn't know that it was a big thing. But I turned out afterwards, and I was in the training room training to be a little croupier, and it turned out that other people there's only like 50 of us, and they said, oh no, usually what you have to do is you have to apply and you have to go for an interview, and there were about 1,000 people had applied for this job, and there's little me just turning up at the Ritz and having a cup of tea with one of the directors. And anyway, so I did that for about 13, 14 years. And I worked all over, you know, where did I work? I worked at the Sportsman first, which was in Tottenham Court Road in London. Then I worked at the Palm Beach, which is just off Berkeley Square. And then I got moved to the Rendezvous, which is on Park Lane. And then I worked around various other sort of Mayfair clubs. You get sent off to various places. So I did that for a while, and I sort of went up the ranks, and I ended up being a senior inspector there. And I trained lots of other people to be to work on, you know, the big sort of Mayfair high roller games. And then I had my children, and I didn't work for a bit. And then when they went to school, I thought, well, I can't go back to casino work because it's nights, and my husband was doing the same thing. That's where we met, in the training room. And so I thought, oh, what can I do? And I started volunteering in their primary school, and then I got a job as a teaching assistant, and I was there for 15 years. I ended up being the lead TA and doing some teaching as well, which, you know, I enjoyed it. It was and it taught me a huge amount, so I'll always be grateful for that. But I just thought, I need more than this. I feel like I just want to use my brain a bit more than I am at the moment. And the whole environment in school can be quite toxic at times. So that's when I did what I did. So thank you for asking. Let's have a look. So Shrinking Violet, I can't see your thing. I see Lynn and you have had a conversation. So hopefully that's okay. Sorry, I didn't see your initial question. But hopefully Lynn has helped you. Thank you, Lynn. You're lovely. Getting in there when I miss questions. And Helen, you're right. Walking is amazing for just getting yourself in that headspace. And as a hypnotherapist, I would say that when you're walking, you just go into that trance state, don't you? Where everything hopefully is chilled and good. So Alice Wessels, dear younger people, as an older person struggling with anxiety my whole life, keep the faith. Do you know, Alice, what a lovely message. That is just such a nice thing to say. And I think, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think it can go in and out. Would you say that you can have times in your life where it's not so difficult, and there are times when perhaps it is a bit more intense? But for me, I really think, I mean, I've seen the evidence of the work that cognitive hypnotherapy can do, that it really can help people to practically change the way their lives are, that anxiety does not have to be this chronic, crippling experience that so many people go through. And the research study that we've done at the Quest Institute has evidenced this, that they did it was published in 2015, but it's ongoing. And the evidence showed that out of a group of people that experienced either cognitive hypnotherapy or other talking therapies, 71% reported that they were recovered after 6 sessions of cognitive hypnotherapy, and only 42% with stuff like CBT. So I see it making a difference on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, keep going. As Alice says, keep the faith. You can get help, and it can begin to feel different. Nadine, I'm so glad it feels safe here for you. That's exactly what, you know, Lynn and me and Jasmine and Vicky and Zanshin, that's what we want, is to make it a safe space for everyone, so that you can talk and share and feel that you're listened to. My apologies if I do try and scroll through everyone's comments, but sometimes I miss stuff because it just jumps and I lose things. Precious Kaz, morning. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. It's lovely to see you. Oh, gosh. Oh, and do you know what, Nadine? For you to feel safe, it's so lovely. You know, this is exactly what I want. You know, so I want in this community, on my page and on these lives, is for people to be able to come and be together and share experiences and feel safe in that sharing. So you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Sam, I've been walking again, and even went the other day with a friend, but it started pouring with rain. That is just typical, isn't it? But, you know, well done. That's great that you did that, and that you started walking, because it can make such a difference. I found this over lockdown. I just started going out walking far more than I've ever done before, and it just made such a difference to me, to how I felt, and I missed it if I didn't go out. So you'll have a huge wardrobe of different clothes so that you can be comfortable in every weather. So let's have a look. Precious Kaz, good morning. I think I said good morning, but I wanted to make sure, so I'll say it again if I didn't, even if I said it before. Yes, Helen, you're right. Walking in the rain is quite nice, actually. I agree. I always feel it's kind of about the clothes that you wear. You know, if you got the right clothes, then it doesn't matter. Even if you get wet, like I run a lot. I love running in the rain, and it's nothing nicer than it makes you feel like a child again sometimes, you know, that kind of splashing, running through the puddles, and it's such a good feeling. And by doing that, you're getting the release of all those good hormones into your system that's telling your nervous system, it's all right, you're safe. So that's so good to hear. Okay, so Shrinking Violet, sorry to ask again, but do any of you have any self-help book recommendations? So, oh, Sam from TikTok, off you go, bye-bye. Thank you for being here, it's lovely. Book recommendations. So, I have loads of books. I'll tell you what I'll do. Is perhaps I'll do a post later on with some books that I recommend, but just quickly. So, let me grab some. I love this book. Can you see? Oh, you probably can't. Can you see that? I'm not sure if you can. It's called Lost Connections by Johann Hari, and it's why you're depressed and how to find hope. But it's not just about depression. It really is one of the best books I've read, and there's loads and loads of references and ideas for other books in the back. So I really recommend this because it's all about reconnecting to life. So that's a really good one. Let's have a look. What else? Oh my goodness. I love this one. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. That's amazing too. And it's lots of sort of anecdotal things about people who've had adversity in their life, who've really, really struggled. And so that's a great one. Human Givens, I know it's upstairs in my library. Who do I think I am? I'm not Lady of the Manor. In my bookcase next to my bed upstairs. Anyway, so there's one by Human Givens, which is human, and then Givens as in Givens. They do really good self-help books about this anxiety, about depression. If you have a look at them, they do really interesting training courses. So that's well worth looking at. If you just Google Human Givens anxiety book, it will come up. And that's very, very helpful. What else would I recommend? No, I reckon that's all I can think of off the top of my head at the moment. I did look, I asked a while ago, and there were some people that recommended the ones that was it Elizabeth someone, not too sure. Oh yeah, Self-Help for Your Nerves, which is by Dr. Claire Weeks. Now, I've read a couple of her books, and I can understand why people would really like them, but they are quite old-fashioned, and it's all a bit sort of, oh, look after your nerves, dear, type of thing. And so for me, although I can understand why people would like them, then I didn't feel that they were really up to date particularly. So anyway, let me get back to having a look at some more. Well, Helen, I hope their children like me, and some of them did. I did my best. I did love it, I have to say. So Mussy91 says, is hypnotherapy as good as counselling from the NHS therapies? So, well, I think that every single therapist and therapy, it has to be taken individually, because you can have a great hypnotherapist or a cognitive hypnotherapist like I am. I'm not saying I'm great, don't get me wrong, but you can have a great therapist from one model, and then you can have someone who is appalling from the same model. So and you can get some fantastic counsellors on the NHS, and you also can get some people who are not so great. And it's really much more about the individual and about your needs as an individual rather than the model. I mean, I would say, obviously, if you can get help for free on the NHS and you can find someone that you really click with and their model of therapy helps you, then go for it, because why would you pay for therapy if you can get it for free? But it's really about the sort of therapy that suits you. I'm not a traditional hypnotherapist. The therapy that I do, Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy, actually is an umbrella term for a lot of different models. So we use Gestalt, we use parts, we use aspects of CBT, we use positive psychology, all sorts of stuff. So really, I think hopefully that answers your question. But it's a very good question. Yes, absolutely. So Rhiannon too, The Power of Now, yes. So that's Eckhart Tolle. That's a good book. I personally preferred, and there was another one about, I don't know if I've got it up here. No, I haven't got it up here. But there's another one, similar one, about being in the now, which I preferred. Also, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk is a fantastic book. That's all about trauma, and that's amazing. If you look for anything by Deb Dana, so Deb as in Deborah, Dana, Dana, she does, if you look on YouTube, she does incredible videos. There's also a TikTok account called Trauma Recovery, which is she shares lots of little snippets of people like Gabor Mate, anything by Gabor Mate. So that's Gabor is Gabor and Mate is Mate. Gabor Mate is like my hero. He does amazing stuff. Bessel van der Kolk is incredible. Deb Dana, loads of people like trying to think of their names. I can't remember names, but yes, you're absolutely right, Rhiannon. Good suggestions there. Let's have a look. Bridget says, I've been in counselling the last 3 years. Toughest decision to start, but best decision to start. I'm so glad to hear that, and I think you're absolutely right. I realise this, and the people that approach me, it's incredibly difficult to have the courage to reach out and ask for help. I remember reaching out for help. It's 20 odd years ago now that I went for help with when my children were little, and I just remember the doctor. I went to my doctor first in floods of tears, and she was so kind. She said to me, because I just said, I'm such a failure that I can't cope, and she just said, no, you are not a failure. This step today, you reaching out for help, is the bravest thing you've ever done. And I just will never forget her words. She was so kind. And the thing is that all of us, as therapists, counsellors, we know how hard it is to make that phone call, to send that email. And any therapist worth their salt will make you feel welcome, will try and reassure you and make you feel safe. So I'm so glad that you've made that, Bridget, that you reached out and that you're getting help. So well done. Let's have a look now. Shrinking Violet. Okay. Oh, it's my pleasure, Shrinking Violet. Yes, and Sophie says, I love listening to self-help and mental health podcasts. They're so calming. I totally agree. There's some really good stuff out there, definitely. Counselling for toads. That's interesting. I'll have a look at that. It must be my daughter has started hypnotherapy with Vicky Seaton. She's had one session. Vicky is a friend of mine. So how lovely. Well, I hope that goes really well. That's excellent. Oh, yes. And Emily says, feel the fear and do it anyway, Dr. Julie Smith. that is another excellent suggestion. Well done. Morning. Morning, James from Hungary. Nice to have you here. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, my private garden. Hello. It's so nice to have you here. Oh, welcome, welcome. I'm going back up through the comments because I know that a load of them jumped through. So, Lawrence, you're from Queensland, in Australia. Oh, that's so cool. Excellent. And Maggie says, I considered becoming a counsellor, but I'm too emotional, I think. So it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, that's part of the training, knowing how to be able to separate. You kind of have your working head on rather than your friend head, if you know what I mean. But, you know, we're human. I mean, there have been times. I remember one time in particular, I really had to dig my nails into the palm of my hand because I kind of got caught up in the story for a bit. And I thought, but the main thing is, you know, it is different because in your head, you're thinking, how can I help this person? What do we do next? What does that mean? What they're saying? What's happening here? You know, you're asking. So on the outside, you might have your therapist face on, but inside, you're going, right, what can we do next? What technique would help? What question can I ask? What, you know, all of that. So don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss it at all, because just because you're emotional, you're human. You know, you feel emotion, and so maybe it is something you could consider. All right, let's have a little look. I'm going to just scroll through. My apologies if I miss your comment. Keep making them and I will get to them. Let's have a little look. Just scrolling. So Becca says, hello, do you have any advice for exam stress? I feel frozen where I'm too anxious and I can't study. And also Shrinking Violet, I can see your question. I'll get to yours too. Thank you for asking them. So exam stress. I suppose it's asking, you know, what is the stress? Is it about fear of failure? Is it being in a particular space and having to do the exams? That fear of like not being able to get started with revision, that kind of stuff. And what's happening there a lot of the time is that your brain is jumping to the future and imagining all the bad stuff that can go wrong, but also looking at all of the stuff that you have to do revision wise and thinking, oh my goodness, this is just too enormous. I don't even know where to start. And so practically, my advice is to chunk things down. So this is a really great book. If you are studying yourself or if you've got people you know who are studying, this is Study Smarter by Dr. Suzanne Fergus. She actually it was on one of our training courses, so I helped train her. And she's a university lecturer she's a university lecturer in biochemistry, I believe, but actually one of the things that she's very good at is how to study and how to learn. And so her book, How to Study Smarter, Suzanne Fergus, is massively helpful because it breaks down how to revise, how to study, how to take notes, how to organise yourself. So I would definitely have a look at that because that can help you practically to chunk things down. And then have a look at my videos, around what is anxiety, what are you feeling, creating an environment of calm so that your nervous system can go, just slow down. Because it's natural to feel a little bit nervous or a little bit excited about exams, but when that nervousness or excitement, it's the nervousness, isn't it, that makes you feel bad, because if you're excited it's a nice feeling, but if that becomes overwhelming, then it might stop you from doing what you want to do. So I would say chunk things down, create an environment of safety, have a look at some of the coping techniques. use stuff like the Pomodoro technique, which if you look that up, you might know about it already. You just set a timer, study for 20 minutes, set another timer, have 5 or 10 minutes where you just go and chill, go out in the garden, have a cup of tea, watch a bit of telly, something like that. And then the timer goes off again, back in to studying. And alternate what you're studying. So maybe do something that you don't particularly enjoy first, and then you know that your next period of study is something that you really like, so that's a bit of a treat, and then back to something else. And all the time your mind is processing, and in the break time and when you're asleep, that's the time when the study is being consolidated. And also to understand, have a look at the TED Talk by Carol Dweck, who is, she's the lady that talks about fixed and growth mindset, and that understanding is that failure, there's really no such thing as failure. It's all about learning. It's about looking at what's happened, because if we learn by failing, we don't learn by being successful all the time, because that means that we're just not pushing ourselves. If we get to a place where we push ourselves, we fail, and we think, okay, what can I learn from this? And then the next time we try it, we'll be a bit better and a bit better and a bit better. So I hope that helps a little bit. Good luck with your exams. You can do this. Right, let's have a look. So, Shrinking Violet, so you said, how much is a session with you and do I have any spaces? Actually, at the moment, I have had to close my waiting list, I'm afraid, because I'm full, and my waiting list was getting to a stage where I thought it's not fair. I'd rather refer people to friends and colleagues of mine, so that you can actually start to get help. I charge £90 a session, and I tend to see people for 3 to 6 sessions, maybe more. I mean, I have seen people for a lot longer, but we're calibrating all the time, and those longer sessions we're seeing progress over time. So, and I see people every 2 weeks, and actually, I mean, I'm looking, and I'm kind of down the cheap end of the scale, because I think that I think that that's like, if I was paying that out, I'd think, well, blimey, that's a lot of money to be paying out. But, and someone said to me the other day, oh, well, if you've got a waiting list and you're having to close your waiting list, put your prices up. And I said, no, because I want people to be able to afford to come and see me. And I know that I'm already unaffordable for a lot of people, and I don't think that's fair. So, yeah, anyway. So I'm sorry, I'm afraid at the moment I don't have any spaces. Yeah, and Lynn, you're absolutely right. Shrinking Violet, do email me, and if you want some more sort of individual help or advice, I'm really, really happy for anyone to email me. If you go into my profile page, there's a link that takes you to loads and loads of free resources, but also to my website, and the details of my email is on there. Don't email me through TikTok because for some reason it doesn't work. But email me, and I promise you I will get back to you and try and help in the best way that I can. All right. Let's have a look. Oh, what was the last one? Oh no. I don't know. Ask again, Bridget, and I'll know what you mean. Oh, Tracy, hello. It's so lovely to see you. Welcome. So nice. I'm so grateful. I love seeing familiar faces, people that come to my page that have been with me for a really long time, and I'm so grateful for your support. I really am. So Tracy, thank you so much for being here. It's lovely. Let's have a look. Nadine, I struggle to understand my own feelings. It makes me sad because I should know. Well, who said you should know, Nadine? We are a mystery as human beings, and I don't think any of us fully understand ourselves. That's the journey of life, isn't it? That we're all working our way through it. I mean, I sometimes, like this morning, I was getting ready to do this live, and my son is here. They're all outside having breakfast, and it was like a last minute thing. At like 1 minute to go, they're still here making their breakfast, and I was thinking, oh, come on, I need to do my live. And my son said something, and I made me feel rubbish. And I was thinking, what what's that? Why am I feeling like this? I'm a therapist. And so, yeah, so I mean, I hope that helps a little bit to help you understand that you're not alone in that sense of it being hard. Sometimes life is hard and sometimes we don't understand ourselves. So it's that curiosity. It's helpful to be curious, to be constantly learning and questioning, what's that about? How can I use that? How can I learn from this? So, okay. Let's have a look. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Oh, Becca, so it's definitely fear of not getting the grades for uni. Oh, thank you for your advice. Okay, well, it's my pleasure. And, you know, I always think to myself, you know, but if you get to the stage where you will either get the grades that you need or you won't. And so you'll get to a crossroads where you either get the grades and then you go to uni, and that's what the plan was, and that's great, or you don't get the grades that you want for uni, and then you've got other choices to make. So you either redo, you know, you take a year and you redo exams, or you look at clearing and look at other unis to go to, or you take a year out and have a think. But it's never the end of the world, you know. It's always, you know, I always tell the story of my son, that he didn't get the grades that he needed to get into sixth form, and he was devastated, and he went to college, and he didn't really want to go to college, but actually it was the making of him, and it taught him a big lesson that day. So life is full of diversions. Life is not a straight journey from A to B. It's very often a wiggly path, and everything happens for a reason. I really firmly believe in that. You know, it's like my son going travelling. At the last minute, his friend he thought he was going travelling with just let him down. Went, oh, I'm not going travelling. So my son was really hurt and thought, oh God, why? And oh, I'm going to have to travel by myself now. And now he's travelling by himself, and he said, I'm really glad that he didn't come along, because it's fantastic travelling by myself. So something that feels awful in the moment sometimes can be the making of us. I'm not saying that about everything. I know sometimes things are obviously very, very difficult. But yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. Let's have a look. Oh gosh. Oh, Vic, hello, and thank you, as you've helped me on my worst days. Oh my goodness, thank you. That's so lovely to know that I've been of help at all. It's lovely. That's exactly why I started this, you know. And I'm amazed. I'm constantly amazed and grateful for the people like you that perhaps I do help in some small way. So thank you for being here today. It's Ma 101. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Let's have a look. Okay. So Claire says, good morning, does B12 affect anxiety? I'm afraid I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'm sorry, I can't help with that. Let's have a look. Just having a scroll through. Thank you, Lynn. I can see Lynn and Nadine, you're having a conversation here. Oh, Shelley, any advice please, Sarah? But on what? Let's have a look. Holly, you're from Wales. Welcome. So, snorts too. I've reached out and have 2 sessions left and I feel 100% better than I did. That's so amazing. It's amazing how therapy really can help. So I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful. Let's have a look. I'm just seeing if there's any more. I know that there's some things that I'm missing here. I'm not too sure. Sorry about this. I'm just having a little read through. Sophie, every night I watch your How Are You Today videos and they make me feel so much better. Thank you. Oh gosh. Do you know what? Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I just, when I do those, you know, sometimes I have particular people in mind, and sometimes I have an imaginary person in mind, but most of the time I actually am holding people that I know come to my page. I have people who I know that they come to my page, they're on my mind. And so Sophie, when I do mine today, I've not done it today, but I will have you on my mind. So I appreciate that. I'm so glad that they are helpful, because I know sometimes, I know when my boys were little, and it was quite a lonely place to be, you know, being a mum with young children, you know, husband at work all the time. It was a really lonely place, and sometimes, you know, I'd go to Tesco to do my food shopping, and that would be the only adult I talked to all day, would be the lady at the Tesco counter. And I'd want to say, thank you so much for being so friendly and so nice to me, but I couldn't even say that because I knew that I'd burst into tears if I did. And so I know that sometimes it is these small things. It's these, you know, like a minute or two of someone actually asking, are you all right today? Because I'm genuinely thinking of you, and it matters that you're all right. It matters that you're here. So thank you for that. Let's have a look. Oh, it's Pricey 32. See Pricey 32. Oh, my son. This is my son that's not travelling. Says Tesco, not Waitrose. He's just so sarcastic. Is he watching me? He must be watching me. Ah! Well, yes, you know I go to Waitrose now, Archie. So thank you very much. But I shop in all sorts of different places, and you're just being very rude and horrible. Go away. Oh, dearie me. I don't know. Let's have a look. So it's Ma 101. I'm alone too at most times. It's really hard, isn't it? It's really hard when you're alone. So sometimes it's okay to be alone. Like, I quite like to be alone at times. There are times when, you know, you just have your own space. But there's a big difference, isn't there, between being alone and being lonely. And being lonely is a horrible feeling. It's just, so I feel for you. I hope that perhaps these lives, the video, the community that we've created here can help you feel a little bit less alone. I know, Vic385. He is a bit of a troll, to be honest with you, that one. Oh dear. Helena Dolphin, good morning from Chicago. You're so sweet, I love you. Oh, you're so lovely. Thank you. It's very nice. Welcome. So you must be up late too. If you're in Chicago, what time is it? It must be, so if it's 11, and you must be like 6-8 hours, so it's kind of early in the morning for you. Welcome. My private garden. I feel insecure and inadequate as a mother, and that adds stress to my already complicated life. Do you know, I really feel for you there. You know, when life is already difficult, and then you feel that sense of inadequacy, that you're not doing a good enough job for your kids. But do you know the thing that really matters, and that really children really notice is that, I mean, I've said to my boys quite often, I really let you down when you were little. I was such a rubbish mum. And the one that was trolling me just then, he's always been so kind. He's always said, Mum, do you know what? Don't ever say that, because you were always a good mum. You've always done your best for us, and we love you. And so I think, my private garden, that you perhaps need to be kinder to yourself and appreciate that you're doing your best, and that's all you can do. And that you will be being a good mum. There's a difference, isn't there, between how we feel about ourselves, our own sort of sense of who we are can feel wobbly, and our foundations can feel unstable, and yet to our children we're everything, and they love us no matter what. I mean, I know from working in school, some children, had the most difficult of parents, but they still absolutely adored them, and all they wanted was love from their parents. And as long as we can do that, as long as we can give our children the best love that we can manage, as long as we can do our best, that's okay. So I hope that helps a little bit. I hope you're not feeling too bad this morning. Muna, good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome. Vic, thank you for your little love heart there. Ashley Sheridan says The Good Enough Parent is a really brilliant book. So that's very helpful. Thank you. I haven't read that. There's another book. Oh, it's not here. By Trevor Sylvester called Grow, and that's a fantastic book about parenting. So hopefully that is something that you'll find helpful. Oh, all my family are coming through. They're walking through my room. I'm feeling all embarrassed now. Oh gosh. Let's have a look. Let me get back to my work, to being with you. Sophie says, I hope you know we really appreciate you taking your time and making videos for us. Do you know what? I totally do. And I really do appreciate the kindness that is shown to me here. I really do. You're just lovely people. That's what I love. That I'm so fortunate to have you here. And so thank you. You make me feel safe as well. Oh, Nadine. Bless you. Do you know what? I'm so glad you're here, and I can see that you and Lynn have been talking, and you are so welcome here. And please don't give up. Keep going. Keep coming, being here with us, and together, if we can keep this up, if we can keep meeting like this, we can build each other, can't we? We can build our confidence. It's like my private garden as well. Perhaps if we keep being together like this, we can have this community where we just build each other up and we're kind to one another, because that's so important, isn't it? There's so many people in the world that want to tear each other down and criticize and be so polarized in I'm right, you're wrong. And no, let's I mean, I know I sound a bit cheesy, but it's kind of, it's so important that we come together and that we're kind to one another. So Kirsty. Oh gosh, really struggling today. Kirsty, I'm so sorry that you're struggling today, and I'm so glad. I'm glad that I'm doing a live today too. You're so welcome. Take time for you. And I don't know why things are hard today, but if you're having one of those days, just slow everything down. Just take time for you. Maybe reach out to people that that you know and you trust and you love, if you possibly can, if there's people like that for you in your world. But yeah, you take care. Take care. I hope today gets a bit better for you. I wonder if there was something that you could do. Maybe go for a walk, maybe reach out to a friend. I don't know. I hope you're okay, and I'm glad that you're here. It's Mar. That's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So Nadine, I think being here is the first time I've ever felt safe, so thank you. Oh, Nadine, gosh. Well, do you know what? You are so welcome here. And I can see you and Lynn have had a chat. Lynn's my lovely moderator today, and it's so nice to have you here, and you're always welcome. You're always welcome. And exactly as Lynn says, if you join us, I do lives. I try. I know life gets in the way sometimes. I try and do lives on a Friday and a Sunday. So Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning and a Sunday at 5 p.m. That's UK time. I can't do one this Sunday, unfortunately, because I'm going to a memorial for a friend. But normally I do my best to do them because I just really enjoy them and I love seeing you all here. Yeah. So I think, I can see that it's 11 o'clock and this hour has just flown by. They absolutely fly by. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Lynn, for moderating for me. And it's just such a lovely thing to be able to have an hour where we can all come together and you can ask any questions that you might have. I always try and answer everybody. And if I haven't answered your question, if you've asked me something and I've not seen it, because I do tend to fly by, then do email me. Go into my profile. There's a link, and there's lots of free resources. There's my email. You can get free downloads. There's free articles on MyQuest Hub. You can email me with any questions that you might have that I haven't answered. And you're always welcome to do that, and I will reply to everybody. Elaine, thank you. And I know you live up the road from me too, so thank you for being here. It's so nice I knew you were here because I could see that you'd registered, and it's lovely that you've been here, so thank you. Sophie, have a lovely day. And I will be thinking of you when I do my how are you today. And Lynn, thank you for helping me. I'm so grateful for all the help you give me with these lives. Bridget says, thank you. I missed my therapy appointment this week, so this has been a blessing. Oh, bless you. Well, I'm so glad. Hopefully you can have your therapy appointment next week. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Whatever you're doing, whether you're with friends and family, whether you are just spending time by yourself, but take care of yourselves. Take time for you this weekend. My private garden, thank you for being here. It's so lovely to have you here in person. And it's Mar, thank you. Lynn, let's have a look. Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you Vic, thank you Bridget. Thank you Nadine, it's been lovely having you here. Appreciate you being here. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you Stars, UPX1. My next one that I'm going to do is next Friday morning at 10 o'clock. So hopefully you can come along to that. Sorry, I'm waffling because I really like seeing the comments. Oh gosh, hello Mia, the emergent woman. It's so nice to see you. Morning. Yeah, so I'm just wrapping up now, but morning Vicky. Morning, it's lovely to see you. Hello Kickerbox of Glory. Hello, have a great day. Lovely to listen to you. Oh, bless you. So have a lovely day, everyone. You take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. And I will see you later on today with my videos that I do today in the week. And I'll see you next Friday for the next live at 10 a.m. UK time. But I thank you for being here. I really appreciate you giving up your time. And thank you. Thank you, Lynn, for moderating. Hello, Vicky. Thank you. And I'll take care. I'll see you soon.